Hi teachers. This lesson is all about managing your digital workflow. So this is a 2-video lesson. In this first video, we're going to talk about grading and ways to make that work a little bit more efficiently or effectively for you. And in the second video, we'll talk about giving feedback to students on assignments and managing the submission and resubmission process. So to get started, I'm here in my gradebook for my Sandbox course. We already talked in a previous video about how to plug in grades and autofill and that sort of thing. So we're not going to cover that again. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I suggest that you go back and check out that video. What I will say about this gradebook view, though, is a little bit about the exceptions. So this is this little flag here that you can click on to mark assignments with an exception. So we have excused, incomplete, and missing. For the context of Summer Academy, if a student is missing work, we would like teachers to fill in the missing exception. So this puts this little orange hexagon right here and plugs in a score of 0 automatically, which you can see automatically drop down this student's grade quite a bit. While this does remove this assignment from their overdue assignments list, this is something that students see in the top right-hand corner of their home screen. We do think that having this missing exception is the best thing for our Summer Academy students because it automatically shows the impact on their grade, and it has this little symbol to show them that something is missing or is something that they need to turn in. Students learned this in the grade lesson for their orientation, so this has been communicated to students in their additional resources folder, so we wanted to communicate that to teachers as well. So for any missing work, please use that little missing work icon there. With that aside, we're going to now talk about how to use the assignment view to grade assignments. So we're going to look at this passage analysis. I'm going to go ahead and click on the assignment there. And it opens up this assignment for us. Over here to the right, we have the different submissions. You'll see this in your courses. My Sandbox class is really small. It has just a handful of students, not super realistic for what you're going to see, which is more like this. As you can see, it's a little bit crazier with all of the students in your course and things that need grading. So I wanted to share a couple of tips for how to sort all this information and make it a little bit more digestible for you. The first thing over here on the submission side is this received link. You can click on that word received or the little drop down arrow, and then you can sort all these responses by a couple of different ways. Like you could sort it by the things that you haven't graded yet, which students turned it in on time versus late, which ones you've already graded, or which students haven't yet submitted their work. So lots of ways to help sort all that information for you. The other tip that I wanted to share is this little edit grades button up here at the top. When you click on this, you get a pop-up window and you can go through and grade things really quickly. Again, if you just need to plug in some scores, it's kind of similar to using the gradebook view. As you can see, Sushma already had a grade, 100 out of 100. Good job, Sushma. So that auto-filled there, and then you can just go in and plug in other scores as needed. If you want, you can enter in a comment to go along with that grade. You can, for instance, completely done. If you want this just to be a comment for you that you can see on the gradebook, leave it as is. If you want the student to see it, you just check the box show to student. And then when they open up their gradebook, they can also see that comment next to the assignment and the score. So that's one way of communicating some things with students. But this is just a quick way to enter in grades with this view. After you're done, you just click Save Changes, and then it will be all done. That's it for this quick first video on grading. We're going to talk about the document viewer next, so click on the next video below.